In the busy streets of Enugu, traders shouted, children ran, and the air was filled with noise. Chief Obinna drove past in his black SUV, his flowing agbada showing his wealth and status. But suddenly, his eyes caught a sight that shook his heart. There, by the dusty roadside, sat a woman with three children. She looked tired, her clothes faded, her hair rough. The children clung to her, hungry and weak. Obinna's heart stopped. That woman was Chinwe, his former wife, the woman who once abandoned him in his days of struggle, and now fate had brought her back, broken and begging. Obinna's mind went back in time. He remembered those days of his youth when poverty was his closest friend. Chinwe had once been the light of his life. They dreamed together, struggled together, but when hardship struck and wealth seemed far away, she chose another path. She left him for a man who appeared richer, leaving his heart shattered. The memory burned like fire in his chest, and now to see her again, not as the proud woman who walked away, but as a beggar with children. Obinna felt both pain and pity fighting inside his heart. Obinna wanted to drive away. His pride told him to ignore her. But then he looked at the children, their thin arms, their tired eyes. They were innocent yet suffering. His heart softened. He stepped out of his car. Chinwe raised her head slowly. Shame filled her eyes. She expected insults, maybe even mockery. Instead, Obinna stretched out his hand. Come, he said. You and the children cannot remain here. Chinwe trembled, tears rolling down her cheeks. The children clung to him as though they had found safety at last. For the first time in years, hope touched her heart. When Chief Obinna brought Chinwe and the children to his mansion, peace left his home. His wife, Adaeze, stood in shock as they entered. Adaeze was elegant, proud, and protective of her place as madam of the house. To her, Chinwe was not a woman in need. She was a rival. What is this? Adaeze shouted. Why bring her here after all she did to you? Obinna tried to explain, but Adaeze's heart boiled with anger. The children sat quietly, watching as two worlds collided, one of wealth and one of pain. That night, the mansion was filled with tension. Later that night, Obinna sat outside in his garden, troubled. Chidera, the eldest son, approached him. The boy's eyes were sharp, but filled with sorrow. Papa, he said softly, do not hate my mother. She did not leave you because she wanted to. Men came to her, men who feared your success. They lied to her, they threatened her. She was forced away. Obinna's heart pounded. Could it be true? All these years he had carried bitterness, believing Chinwe had betrayed him. Now, his son's word opened old wounds and new doubts. For the first time, he felt guilt mixed with anger. But while Obinna battled with his heart, Adaeze's jealousy grew. She whispered to the servant that Chinwe had returned to steal her husband. She accused her of using the children as a trick to enter the mansion. At dinner, Adaeze slammed her hand on the table. This woman cannot stay here. Choose between her and me, she shouted. Obinna sat silently, torn between his present and his past. Chinwe bowed her head in shame. The children ate quietly, their eyes heavy with fear. The mansion that once held laughter now shook with anger and suspicion. The storm grew stronger. One evening, Adaeze comforted Chinwe in Obinna's presence. Leave this house now, she screamed. You are nothing but a shadow from his past. Chinwe's heart shook. She wanted to defend herself, but held back. Obinna stood between them, his face filled with frustration. He loved Adaeze, but he could not deny the bond of blood with Chinwe's children. That night, Obinna couldn't sleep. He realized that companion had become a fire threatening to burn down his home. A choice had to be made. Before dawn, Chinwe made her decision. She quietly gathered the little she had and woke her children. We must go. She whispered, I will not bring more shame to this house. They walked into the cold night. Chidera led the way. Amara held her mother's wrapper, and little Obinna dragged his feet in silence. Though her heart ached, Chinwe chose sacrifice over comfort. She would rather return to the streets than destroy Obinna's marriage. Tears rolled down her cheeks, but she walked on, her love for her children giving her strength. As they rested in a small rented room, Chidera searched through an old bag of his mother's belongings. Inside, he found a letter. The letter was old, the writing fading, but the words were clear. It was a letter from Obinna's relatives. They had offered Chinwe money to leave Obinna, promising her silence if she'd obey. They warned her that if she stayed, they would destroy Obinna's future. Chidera gasped. Mama, why didn't you show him this? Chinwe wept. I kept it to protect him. I suffered in silence, but I did not want to ruin his destiny. The next day, Chidera ran to his father with the letter. Obinna's hands shook as he read the words. Anger and sorrow filled his heart. For years, he had hated Chinwe for nothing. His own blood had deceived him. Obinna called the elders of the family. In their presence, he read the letter aloud. Adaeze sat in silence, her jealousy now shadowed by guilt. Chinwe stood humbly with her children beside her. The elders murmured among themselves, ashamed of the evil that had been done. At last, the truth was clear to everyone. Obinna's heart was heavy, but his voice was firm. Two women cannot rule one home, he said. Adaeze is my wife, but Chinwe is the mother of my children. I will not turn my back on them again. Adaeze lowered her head, realizing she had gone too far. Chinwe wept quietly, not for herself, but for the dignity her children had finally regained. The choice was not easy, but Obinna knew it was the only path of wisdom. His mansion would no longer be a place of strife. Obinna built a new house for Chinwe and the children, a place of peace and safety. He promised to care for them and give the children a future filled with hope. Adaeze, though hot, accepted her place with humility, learning that jealousy only destroys. Chinwe found strength again, not as a wife, but as a mother whose sacrifice was honored. And the children, once homelessly, now walked with pride. In the village, people spoke of Chief Obinna, not for his wealth, but for his compassion. For they knew that true riches are not measured in gold, but in mercy. Thank you. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.